No, it's not. It is live. It is live. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Saturday morning, everybody. Welcome to Dream with Len. And today we have a special guest with us. We have Jana Szabo. And as I promised you, we're going to do a session on aromatherapy. And Jana, am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Oh, I
Jana Szabo.
Jana. It's
Jana. Okay. Jana is an internationally recognized aromatherapist, and we're really, there we go, Christy. Hello, Christy. We're really fortunate to have her with us today. And so, first off, let me just welcome everyone who's here. Christy's here, Mike is here. I expect several other people that are normally here to be piling on at the last minute. Hopefully, they're gonna come on in, but we'll welcome them. We'll welcome them as they do. Jana, welcome. I'm really excited to have you here. I'm going to turn the show over to you in just a moment. So, are you ready to go?
I am aromatherapy. I'm ready to go, and with Dream with Len. How exciting! I'm so honored to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
And there's Craig. Craig just bounced in. Hello, Craig. Good morning. All right, Jana, take it away. Tell us about aromatherapy.
Well, I am obsessed with healing, and why is because we are constantly creating inflammation in our bodies, in our life, where we have so many situations that are hard for us to deal with. I'll talk about the good things too. I'm making a relationship here between why I love aromatherapy. Aromatherapy is plant medicine. Plant medicine and a distillation of flowers, steam distillation. There are other distillations as well. There are concrete, essential oils, many different things which we can learn over time. But just to say that in our busy days, living the way we do, no matter where we are, life has so many challenges in front of us. I like the easy life. I don't know about you, but I like the easy life. And Len, that is, I'm revealing my top secrets why I love aromatherapy, because I like the easy life. So when I bring the plant medicine close to me, it creates ease on every level. For everything that happens, there is a remedy. And I don't know all the remedies that are available for everything, but it is a lifelong study, mind you. Even though I'm an internationally certified aromatherapy therapist and I have 600 hours of training under my belt, there are thousands and thousands and thousands more hours of training, and everybody knows a little bit different information than the other person. So if you're a novice or you're an essential oil enthusiast and not a certified aromatherapist, it isn't like I'm here on a stage necessarily and you're there, only learning. This information is at your fingertips, and there are many books, and I'll be offering some recipes online for like $5 here, $7 here. We'll do webinars and invite you to show you how to use aromatherapy more easily in your home. Now, the thing is, for example, I'm just going to give you a rundown. Well, first of all, I'll tell you so that if you don't know, give you an example: 10,000 pounds of rose petals. I don't know if you could imagine that. So,
That's a lot of roses.
Well, a rose petal is light as a feather, isn't it?
Right.
Right. And gravity, when it falls, it takes a long time for it to hit the ground, pretty much, because
right.
it's a rose petal, right? And it kind of does this sort of thing. It's not heavy. And so 10,000 pounds. Imagine with the thorns on the branches and the bushes, the lavender the rose bushes. Have you ever pruned your rose bush? Well, it's not that easy. You might get pricked. So can you imagine in Bulgaria or in India, who is doing this work? It's very dangerous. 1,000 pounds of lavender flowers, and it is 10,000 pounds makes an ounce. Pardon me, not 1,000. Makes an ounce of the essential oil, depending on if it's a concrete or an absolute. I'm just telling you that it is so concentrated that the medicine of this plant is so powerful. When
Now
it's put in a form
you were
of
talking about. I'm sorry. You were talking about roses, and then did I hear eucalyptus or something else in there?
I didn't.
Was this about?
No,
Is this rose petals?
I didn't say that. I slipped and I said lavender.
Lavender, yeah. Oh, sorry, my bad. I knew I heard something else.
So with lavender, it would be more like 10,000 pounds of lavender flowers would make 16 ounces. So if you're looking at the roses, it takes more. It takes that amount to make less. So an ounce to 16. You see, it's so different. And so each essential oil has a different vibration. And like when you have a product that has a megahertz, let's say, you know, I take an Earth Greens product that has a charge on it. Well, a plant on it has that is a vibrational being. Okay, so when it's put into essential oil, it's rose has an example. Rose has a higher vibrational count than lavender essential oil, for example. So you're looking at different essential oils, and they have different values. It doesn't mean that the rose is better for you than lavender. It's just different purposes and then applications of each thing. So to cut to the chase of how we use aromatherapy and the purpose in my life or in your life, and why I think it's important to use essential oils in one's life, is what is interesting is how many times do you or I or anybody you know go out in your garden and are resourceful with the plants that are growing? Len,
You're asking me?
Yes, like you or the people that you know. I mean, this is going to create some sort of a parallel that I'm going to share here. So, how many times do you go into the woods on a hiking? You know, you're hiking, and see the plant, you recognize the plant, you know the medicinal value of the plant. Let's say if you fell and you hurt yourself, could you find a plant on your hike that you could use to help get rid of the pain so you could keep walking? And it's a blanket question. I'm just asking you as I'm asking if I were talking to 100 people.
Well, you're talking to 10 people, and I can tell you that I wouldn't know what to look for sure. I would hardly recognize a plant. I mean, if it was a rose, I'd recognize it, but past that, I probably wouldn't.
Well, this is a good question because, humbly speaking, I asked that because I'm in the club. When I go on a hiking, trip, I am embarrassed to myself that I can't recognize yet every plant plants that might be helpful to me if something like that happens. So that is an example for us to realize that we are not connected to the earth. We're not. And it's a general statement, and I know that it can be argued because obviously we are connected to the earth. If we grow plants, we do this, we can say we are, and yes, it's all relative. Okay, so that's what's going on here with the excitement about using essential oils in our daily practice, because here we have companies that have created this. You know, they have distillers, and they've gone out and they're really resourceful. They're resourceful with plants and their healing qualities. And then we have the essential oil in our hands. How fabulous is that? So we have to learn about the plant kingdom. We get to learn through the plant kingdom through using essential oils. Wow, what an exciting opportunity. We must grab everything we can about it. So let's say, does that make sense? Is that interesting so far?
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. I'm fascinated. What I'm
Okay.
really fascinated by,
Go ahead,
and I'm gonna put what might be a general question, if you can
please.
maybe address it somehow. But you said you had 600 hours of training, and there's thousands more to go. Where does somebody like let's take me? I know zero, and if I wanted to just get started, uh, where would I start?
Well, since I'm internationally certified aromatherapist, I do private training, and that's one way to become introduced to aromatherapy, because those classes can be designed by the student having a group of questions, and then the class can be custom designed for the student. That's one way
Mhm.
to be introduced to to what direction do I take in aromatherapy. That could be a course for a person to start. There are many other ways. There are books available on Amazon.com that I'd be glad to send you as a referral list for you and your friends to look at. You can get some of these books used for like $1. Some are more expensive that collector's items, you wouldn't be able to do that. But I would start with those that are used and incredible value that would help a person start their journey.
Mhm.
I wouldn't take a course and a certifiable aromatherapy study course to start maybe 2 months down the road. I mean, when a
You
person,
would.
because it's the biology, the chemistry, and the lifestyle, and a person has to be ready to take that on. And then there's a test that a person takes, and I'm just saying that it can be overwhelming at the beginning. Also, for the start of a person who's interested in studying aromatherapy, but on the same level, Len, if a person would like to take an aromatherapy course, I also personally have quite a few that I would recommend. And
Mhm.
I actually can certify aromatherapists and do that, but that's not what I'm doing at the moment. I'm giving small classes for a small fee. I'm just not. It's I will have a certified course available probably within a year.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Now, is it really primarily external? You put the oil, or is it internal? You take them, or both?
That's a very good question. Um, the disclosure of the FDA is that anything that pretty much that anything that I recommend or anything that is not um, basically to be repeated or not repeated, but I'm not recommending other people to do everything that I do, and with that. As the horse driving the cart, we can understand that, and then maybe on this video we'll put the disclosure so that you have that. The answer to your question is that yes, I'm an internationally certified aromatherapist, and I say that in answer to your question because in Europe, I studied under an Austrian scientist, Dr. Schnobel, and there are two thoughts of using aromatherapy, and one is to use internally and externally, and that's the European method, French method, and the other method is in the United States. I can't recommend that, but I do use personally a couple of essential oils internally, and truth be told, and mainly externally. I use in my diffuser every night to help me have a deeper sleep, go into a deeper dream pattern. I think it's really important to have a restful sleep. I've noticed the difference between my my sleeping without using my essential oils and with using my essential oils. And my dogs are they sleep close to the diffuser, which is an interesting study for me. I find that, and they are extremely relaxed, lying on their backs, especially when I'm using frankincense in the blend. So externally and excuse me, and internally, but I don't recommend others to use the essential oils internally. Why? Is because generically I can't do that. Not knowing the state of the individual's organs, the strength of the organs, the liver, the kidneys, the heart. So I don't do that. Individually is a different story if they're in private consultation, and I have their medical records.
Mm-hmm. So the reality is this stuff could be dangerous if it's misused.
Right. Absolutely. For example, there is a method that some people use, and I'm not going to say what it is. And in my business, my spa product development, I had somebody come to me and say that they were afraid to use aromatherapy essential oils anymore because somebody had used oregano oil, dropped it directly on their skin, and they ended up in the hospital with burns. And it was a very painful experience. There's a lack of training at the novice level, and the excitement of using essential oils is without boundaries, and it's extremely scary to me and very dangerous. So no, I think that if a person does not know how to use essential oils, they shouldn't. And if they're not studying with somebody, or at least tapping in and asking questions, they shouldn't just use, just because they hear that lemongrass. There was another example. Lemongrass is great for keeping away bugs and this and that. And then this woman wrote to me after she had decided that she was going, because it worked for her husband, she was going to use it on this newborn baby. And thank God she wrote to me, because it's so dangerous for her to do that. The child's skin, the skin on the baby is so thin.
Mm-hmm.
And that sort of thing not only can burn the skin, but can cause all kinds of things, blood pressure and little organs, the liver especially. Cats. So for example, you have a cat and their liver and kidneys are just like really small, and blasting aromatherapy essential oils, or putting them on the cat, the feline kingdom, on a regular basis is harmful, because they have a hard time transferring that, I don't even know how to say it. Well, when they absorb it, it can get stuck in their body, and they don't know how to, body does not know how to release it very well, so that it becomes toxic. So there's something to understand. Toxic free is misunderstood when it comes to essential oils, and this is under the safety guidelines that I'm here to express. A lot of people here are part of a company that I'm also involved with that is 100% certified toxic free products, this and that, and a lot of people say that and use that term, and that's fine and everything. But when it comes to essential oils, it can be a toxic experience if used incorrectly. So when essential oils are certified organic and wildcrafted, they're pesticide free. They're not necessarily toxic free, because if used incorrectly, they can cause toxicity. So we must understand to educate correctly for safety reasons. Okay, I'm really glad, and that's the same. That's back to the question: do we use them internally and externally? Yes. Before using an essential oil, I recommend either doing a patch test on the skin, on the arm, on the pulse point, or just making sure there's a carrier oil in there, and do your research first, especially around children and elderly. If you're willing to take the risk yourself and just pour a bunch of peppermint in your bathtub, well, you won't have a good experience.
Okay.
You'll freeze, and it'll be very hard to get the essential oil experience that off your body. It'll take about 10 hours, and it will be a very uncomfortable bath. It's been known to happen.
Okay.
We get really excited about using essential oils because it's not regulated, and it's not a medicine that's regulated at this time, which is really great, because if it was, maybe a lot of these essential oils at this time we're living in would be doctored up once again with synthetics, and so it's really great that it's not. But being that it's not regulated, people get so excited because they'll use lavender and they'll see that the burn mark went away, and they get so excited that all of a sudden they have this huge collection, and they're just using it as they feel. And improv is good, but you have to have structure.
Okay. So I see several questions going on in the chat. Can you see the chat? Christy asked a question a little bit ago, and I think we've actually addressed it, but let me just put it out there in case. And the question was, are there essential oils that are hard on certain organs? And I think the answer to that obviously is yes, but I'll let you address that. I think you already have partially.
Yes, there are quite a few. It depends. That's kind of a general, unfortunately, it's still a general question. Because there isn't really a general answer. It would depend on how healthy the person is.
Right.
So I think that basil, oregano, lemongrass, sea cinnamon, some of the, let's see, clove, the largest organ, Christy, in the body is the skin. So when you're talking to me or asking me that question, if you use an essential oil, it's carried through the skin, correct? So to me, that's the first organ. Okay. So if the skin organ is too sensitive to use an essential oil directly, then it's going to be difficult in certain parts of the body also, if there's a weakness. So I would ask you to ask me that privately, and I can come up with to know your question a little more specifically, perhaps, what organs you're referring to, and then the application of using those, if those particular essential oils, Christy, that you are interested in knowing about even. If not, I can come up with a list for you with some explanations, and I'd be glad to do that for you.
Now, Christy also says she used peppermint in her bug repellent. It was so cold.
That she
used peppermint in her bug repellent.
The problem, okay, thank you that's a very good example. I can answer that in relation to what you just said. So what I would put with that would be lavender or blue chamomile. I would soften the peppermint with those two things, and then you won't have the same reaction.
And
blue German chamomile is a nervine, and also it is very good on the skin. So it makes the peppermint more absorbable for the skin, and it is an amazing Roman chamomile, blue German chamomile or Roman chamomile, or lavender. but I would put more lavender drops in that bottle than peppermint. And so you'll have a different experience if you do that. Is that helpful?
Well, probably helpful to Christy.
Yes.
Everybody, yeah, interesting. And then let's see. Chris Schaus wants to know about the dog whose head keeps popping up. She sees a puppy.
Oh yeah, I have two puppies. That's Rosie.
Yeah. There was an earlier question from Craig, I think. I'm not sure. Craig, buddy, or whoever asked the question real early on. I've lost it in the chat. I can't find it. So go ahead and put it in there again. And we'll see if we can get to it. And Chris, is there an oil that can detoxify your liver? That comes from Chris.
Well, lemon, just off the top of my head, and speaking with you about an essential oil that is not as, that's actually really good for you and doesn't have a lot of negative, doesn't do damage really, is our lemon essential oil. That's used a lot in liver cleanses. But again, we can do another class about that if you write that down, and we can talk about that, and we can do more exploration on that. But lemon, again, for me, I can't recommend using essential oils internally, so I'm not doing that. But for me, every once in a while, I do use lemon essential oil in my water, and I make sparkling water for myself, like I have here. And I'm internationally certified, so I also practice the French method. I can't recommend that to you. I also put, I think, Frank, you can also use a little frankincense. I can use frankincense in my water. I have to make sure I don't say you. And I love doing that because that's good for my my organs. So I'm into the lavender and frankincense. But if you'd like more information, we can also do another class on that. And the next class that I'll give publicly, I will have an event page, and I will ask people to put their questions there, so that when we're live, I'm answering those questions.
Perfect. Wonderful. So Craig is asking, actually, and it's really the question that I would have too. So I'm sitting here with zero background, zero information. We actually have a few oils sitting here, and they smell good. But the question is, it's a general question. If someone knows nothing, wants to start, is there a first all-around oil to try, and do we need a diffuser? Should I run out and get a diffuser and put some peppermint in it because it smells good? Or where does somebody start other than with a class? Is there any other place to start, or a book?
Okay, so you're asking me for an activity and a book?
Well, no.
Or what to do? Well, how would they start?
Yeah. If I were to get, and by the way, everybody, I think everyone who's on here is either in Asante or should be. And the company we referred to earlier as non-toxic products is Asante. And if you're not in there, you should take a look at it. I would recommend you highly you do that, and get with the person who invited you to come here today, and ask them what it's all about. And if nobody invited you and you just showed up on your own and you want to know more, contact me or contact Jana. Yeah, but for somebody who's just starting out with essential oils, is there a recommended, go get a diffuser and do this, or no diffuser and do that, or is there anything you can recommend at all? And we're about out of time, so we'll wrap up pretty quick.
I can answer that question. Lavender, eucalyptus, and peppermint, frankincense, and a citrus green mandarin. These are very good to start with, and very inexpensive. Yes, you should have a diffuser, an ultrasonic diffuser, and you can get a diffuser at Asante. I would recommend the latest diffuser, because the experience with that is color therapy and aromatherapy. So you have 2 in 1, and also it holds 500 milliliters, which means that it can go all day, and you can experiment and explore, get more involved. daily. So that's a great thing. The other thing is that if you saw the picture that I chose for this event, the old sensory factory system is here. When you're it immediately, when you inhale the essential oils, immediately goes to the brain. So the chemistry of the essential oils and the immune system of the plant is immediately affecting your whole chemistry. It's just within seconds. That's why when you go to a spa, you have you most of the time you are experiencing eucalyptus in the steam room. If people are not well, they have colds or in a public place, it's an antiseptic, anti-inflammatory, and antibacterial. So you can clean with it. You can use essential oils to clean with. If you put 20 drops in a 16-ounce spray bottle, you can go around clean with lemon. Not only with vinegar. If you just want to, have something that smells like a product that you bought in the store that's laced with chemicals, you can make it on your own. There are many cleaning companies that are only using essential oils and vinegar and these sort of things to clean with, because those are the things that are left in the environment of the household. So those are the diffuser. You can use all those essential oils separately or together, except the peppermint in the bath. You can use a few drops of peppermint with any of those essential oils in the bath. Just remember that I am not recommending to blast peppermint on its own all day and all night, even in the diffuser. It's nice for a period of time. It's an amazing way to clean the environment, but I'm rushed right now, but I won't get into the whole thing about peppermint. But I'd like you to look in the files of an Asante and look at the safety precautions using essential oils. Every essential oil that you do purchase, whether it's frankincense, peppermint, lavender, and eucalyptus, and maybe green mandarin or blood orange, that before you use them, you can cross-reference on Google search engine to find out. You can go safety using this essential oil. You must do that. If you don't have a book, you are responsible for, especially if you're selling essential oils, you are responsible to tell that person. If you can't find the information anywhere else, you don't have money for a book, you have a phone, you have a computer, get on Google and search. Do that search quickly, the information will be there. If you want more information on how to use essential oils because you want recipes, more ways to use essential oils, this and that, there are many different ways. You can use it in a carrier oil, 4 ounces, let's say, of jojoba oil or sweet almond oil, and then, or olive oil even, and then you can put 20 drops of your favorite essential oil in there. Again, if you're using peppermint or you're using things like clove or tea tree. Tea tree you can use on its own, that's fine, but as far as may want to add lavender to, let's say somebody has fungus, candida issue on their feet, or you can massage their feet with tea tree in a carrier oil, or do a foot soak. You can create a foot scrub using salt. In the back office of Asante, we have the relationship of drops to carrier oil. Please be resourceful. You can ask me any questions you want down the road. If I will give Len my email address. Please do not ask me in a chat on Facebook. I get millions of questions and I don't like turning people away. But you can ask your aromatherapist at gmail.com. I'll do my best to either answer your questions personally, and if I don't, it'll be addressed in my next webinar. So don't fret, and I will do my best to address your question, mainly also because it's always refreshing my knowledge, and I have so much information stored within me, and on the spot, it's very hard for me to access all of it.
Sure.
But give me time to research and then answer more thoroughly. And Len, thank you so much for having me here today. I'm honored, and I hope everybody has I hope I've given some value.
Absolutely. This has been absolutely amazing. I really appreciate it. Craig, I see your one more question there. Jana's going to have to go. Why don't you just email that to her, and I'm sure she'll answer it for you. Uh, and so we're going to let her off the hook here. I promised her she'd be off in a half hour. So, Jana, I really appreciate it. This was absolutely amazing, absolutely awesome. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Jana.
And
well, I'm honored, and I'm so glad that I could be helpful. And yes, so I will let you know, Len, and everybody that's here through you, when my next webinar is, and it will be public this time. So I encourage you to join me, and I believe that I will be able to answer some questions that I think some questions will come in, and I'll be able to answer more thoroughly.
Perfect. Yeah, well, I'd love to be there. I'd love to be there. So thank you very much. And for all of you folks who normally attend my Saturday morning dream workshop, we'll be back on our normal law of attraction, dream sort of stuff, how to manifest your perfect life next Saturday. We'll see you next Saturday at 8:30 Pacific time. And once again, thank you so much, Jana. I'm going to turn it off.
Thank you.
All right. Bye for now.